Hey guys, Set here, and today we're going to look at how you can increase your chances at winning more matches in the Ultra Rumble Open Beta, which came out either today or yesterday, depending upon the time of this video's release. Now, before we start, this game isn't even out properly yet, so game-specific long-term strategies are still mainly being figured out. However, luckily for you, I'm here to give you some general all-purpose battle royale advice to get your head working in the right way to find those wins. Why listen to me? Well, I was one of the top EU players in the battle royale brawler Rumbleverse and hold a trio of world records there. My approach in playing BR's a big part in all of them. So kick back and enjoy while I give you guys some tips and the mentality behind them. Don't forget to like and comment for more Ultra Rumble. Let's get to it. Number 1. Stay with your team. I know, it sounds simple, but so many get it so wrong. Ultra Rumble is a game where you are in a team of 3, so more often than not, when you find trouble, you're gonna find it in multiples. If you're on your own, the chances of beating a full squad, or even just 2 people at once, are generally going to be low for most people. Always be aware of where your teammates are on the map, and ensure you have a route to them in case yourself or your squad get caught in a bind. Coordinate with your allies to attack more efficiently by attacking targets all at once, blocking off enemy teams' chances to escape, and swooping on over-adventurous lone wolves. But Set, I hear you say, I play with randoms mostly, and they never stay near me. I get you, and it's frustrating, and sometimes there's not much you can do. The best advice I can give is to stick with the randoms and let them play leader. Back them up, watch their backs, or even use them as distractions for the enemy you're targeting. Regardless of if they're not going where you want them to go, being around on your own is not good for you, and them being across the map on World Tour is not good for them either. Sometimes you have to bite the bullet and babysit them, as this at least means you won't be outnumbered in combat and still have a chance to fight the other teams on relatively equal footing. Solo queue is painful, but not impossible. Bonus tip: if you're playing with 2 randoms who are hell-bent on going in completely different directions all game, stick with the stronger player of the 2, as at least your chances of 2v3 in the lobby are as high as you can get them at that point. Number 2. Become familiar with your kit. With a game like this, it's easy to bounce around different characters without properly learning any of them, only to eventually give up, having half learned a whole bunch but never truly understanding one character enough to actually gain satisfaction from. Stop that. Choose a character or 2, ones that you vibe with or ones that you think you play best with, and then learn that character's skill set. Figure out how their moves work and when you should be doing them. Learn what the best situation is for those abilities, and figure out what abilities combo best with others. Does ability 1 set up ability 2? Is ability 3 great to use before or after a regular combo? Is one ability perfect at range but useless up close, while another is the opposite? Figuring out the best way to combine your powers, rather than just tossing them out individually without much thought, can be a game changer in how you perform and how fun a character can be. So dedicate to a character and really understand them so you can provide the most support to your team. Then, from there, learn others if you wish. Bonus tip: learn the maximum ranges of your abilities. If you know how far it can go, you can make the most of timing and spacing against opponents. Number 3. Prioritize looting and preparation. I can't tell you how many times I've watched someone walk into a firefight with half a health bar and an inventory full of health potions. Resource management is not a flashy skill to have and won't be getting you mad props from anyone not paying attention, but it is a vital piece of the puzzle all the same. Always be aware of what your inventory situation looks like. Do you have enough health and shields to recover for what you're about to lose? Have you neglected finding level up cards, which has now left you with inferior combat power to opponents in endgame? Is your health too low to justify charging into the 5-player mosh pit you're sprinting toward while having 0 shields to your name? Always have an idea of what your survivability looks like, and if you have the resources to make up for what you're anticipating, you will lose in one moment to the next. Otherwise, you'll be caught with your pants down more times than Quagmire from Family Guy. Prioritize getting a healthy amount of consumables and power-ups. Keep an eye on your teammate's situation and offer items if needed. Make sure you're in the best shape possible before throwing yourself into the fray. If you're not prepared, how can you expect it to go well? Bonus tip, try to hide behind surfaces or within bushes when healing so you don't get caught mid-animation in the open by a passing enemy you didn't see coming. Number 4, know when to retreat. Something a lot of people struggle with in BRs is knowing when to disengage and resume the fight later on. The game ends when you and your team is eliminated, so why rush to that if you're in a losing battle? It's not a 2D fighter where you're locked on the screen. If you've been blindsided and see an opportunity to escape, take it. Regroup, rebuild, and come back stronger to take the fight back to them later on. You won't always be able to get away, but recognizing when you're at a big disadvantage and being able to back away and recover is the difference between BR players and BR winners. Cementing yourself to your fate in poor situations is a stubborn mentality that sees most of your matches end sooner rather than later. Being able to get out of dodge, reposition, and come back stronger is the mark of a player with strategy and perseverance. Knowing when to do so will get you further in matches, thus increasing your chances of winning. This doesn't mean run every time you're attacked, just that with time, you'll figure out the differences between knowing when to stand and fight and when you need a tactical change of scenery. Bonus tip, try to never be caught between multiple teams. Try to avoid being sandwiched in third parties. Instead, if possible, push to one side of the battle so you have a full view of all opponents, so you're not attacked from behind by shots you can't anticipate or see coming. Being on the edge of a skirmish gives you more awareness than being in the middle of one. Number 5, third party intelligently. It's like the old saying goes, all's fair in love and war, and BRs. Prior to what some people would have you believe, there's an art to third partying, and it can help you win matches by eliminating strong opponents when they're least ready for it, or wipe 2 teams out at once should you plan it just right. When third partying, wait for the right time to strike. Stalk your unsuspecting prey until they enter into battle and wear each other out. Don't jump in immediately when both teams haven't had a chance to hurt each other yet. Let them tire and take some solid blows before swooping in to add the icing on the cake. Some more advice would be to watch for their abilities and time your attacks for when they're in the middle of or just finished using their own, catching them out both without their defense up and as their moves are on cooldown, leaving them in double jeopardy. Be sure to focus your targets in third parties. What use is jumping in and getting a man low just to let him sneak off to heal in the end? Pick your man, pick him well, and then pick him clean. Don't let your target out of your sight post third party until he's finished.
Finish him!
And if you lose him, return to your friends for support to ensure that they're finishing off their own work, so your surprise attack wasn't in vain. Bonus tip, if you have a clear shot, start with your strongest attack. Since it's a surprise blow, it will be likely to hit, so you want to open big to get an uncontested, hard-hitting strike that both hammers their health and leaves them in a state of panic. Opening up with a weak move may turn your surprise attack wasteful if they're quick to react. And so there you have it, some general BR advice that will ensure your mentality is on the right wavelength to make the most of this Ultra Rumble beta. If you managed to grab some wins after watching this video, be sure to come back and tell me so I can congratulate you myself. Any further questions, ask in the comments below, and if you're interested in seeing my world record battle royale videos from Rumbleverse, they'll be linked in the description. Rest in peace, Rumbleverse. Of course, don't forget to like, comment, and sub if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you out there.